Hi, my name is Marnie Nieves, and for this video blog assignment, I will be discussing the urban school that I chose to observe, as well as the experiences that I gained and the effective responses that I acquired throughout this experience. The school that I chose to observe was Crestview Elementary, and it is located on 22nd Avenue and 187th Street in Miami Gardens, and it is about 5 to 10 minutes away from Sun Life Stadium. But once you're approaching the school, you can actually see Sun Life Stadium at a distance. Now, the reason that I chose this school to be able to observe is because I actually began my teaching career at this school in March of 2012. So I just really wanted to see if anything had changed or if anything looked different, because this school did really show me a lot in very little time. Now, it's the same older looking school that is painted in tan and blue, and it is very well kept. It's very clean. The overall surrounding, the houses are also as well very clean, very well kept. It's not that stereotypical urban school where people assume that there's graffiti and that it's dirty. No, nothing like that. It is in an urban environment, but nonetheless, it is very clean, very well kept, and the overall environment of the school is very, very inviting. It's nothing to be intimidated by or scared of whatsoever. There is a library at it's about a block away, so it is at walking distance that is, readily available for the students that are at that school. Now, the school, it does have 5 buildings. 3 of those buildings are on the older side. There is one that is newer, and then there's another building. When you look at it aesthetically, it has an appearance of a church, but nonetheless, it's still a very well kept, very nice school. The school is completely fenced around. It does have a large physical education area. There's some basketball courts, there's a small playground, there's like this covered area. Um, Overall, just the neighborhood is just a very inviting one. And, nothing really had changed, prior to me working there a couple of years ago. It is, a very just overall good school. And um, I think as I began to walk along the outside of the school, I began to reminisce on the moments that I spent at that school, and just looking back on, for example, when I interviewed for the position and the things that they told me once I got the job, that the students in the first grade classroom that I was going to be taking over were low academically, they had behavior issues, and that I was going to be the fourth teacher that was going to be taking over. And that really did make me upset, the whole situation, not just for myself, but for those children. They were thought of as low achieving, and they just had endured so much during that school year with having 3 teachers prior to me. So I knew that, once I became their teacher, that was going, you know, things were going to change. And, you know, I did go in a couple times just to make the transition a little bit smoother. But when I did walk in that first day, I was a little bit in shock to just see the whole classroom environment. It was bare, very monotone. The students were sitting in rows. They were like forbidden to talk to each other. The current teacher at the time was kind of talking down to them. And it just made me very uncomfortable. And if I felt uncomfortable, they probably felt uncomfortable throughout the whole school year. So I knew that once I went in, things were going to change. And it did. It began with just me changing the whole overall layout of the classroom. And other teachers possibly thought that I was crazy, that I was going to be making changes late in the year with only 3 months. But that didn't matter to me. I wanted them to be able to feel comfortable and to just, it's their classroom. It's not my classroom. It's their classroom, and they need to feel comfortable where they spent the majority of their day. And that was crucial to me. So I put them in groups. I made the class more colorful. I added posters. You know, I wasn't forbidding them to talk to each other and to communicate when they were working on assignments. They needed to feel a sense of community. And that was, I think, the first thing that I did to just accomplish all the other changes that were going to happen. And, I also had to gain their trust because when I walked in, they were like, well, who are you? You know, well, what are you doing here? You're just going to leave like the other teachers. So that to me kind of, resonated with me because I had to gain their trust. I needed to be able to identify with them, to know where they came from, to know what they felt, to know the things that they were going through. And just everything as I was walking along the school was me thinking of everything that I had experienced during that time and how it is reflecting on all the readings that we have done throughout this course. And it was kind of like this just beautiful feeling of knowing that I was possibly doing the right thing at that moment, a new rookie teacher, and to know now that, I possibly did make an impact on them during that time. And not only did, you know, they they had an impact on myself as well. They gave me the experience that I needed to kind of just not be that traditional teacher and not to have that stereotype that urban children are, are bad, or that it's just an overall bad neighborhood. No, it just made me see things in a different light by having that experience. And it's something that I'm always going to be very thankful for. And for me, even having the opportunity to even step foot in that school. And one thing, as I went to the interview that day, I was very like hesitant and very kind of, not scared, but a little bit overwhelmed at the situation, just because, it wasn't an environment that I was accustomed to, or an environment that I had even walked into. But for some strange reason, as I walked in to the school premise that day and I'm walking through the parking lot, I see this beautiful mural of African American children holding hands. And for some reason, that painting just put everything in perspective. And it is something that we need to see, that in a community that is full of African American children, you need to be able to know them, identify with them, know the community that they're living in, know the experiences that they're overcoming. We need to be able to really understand and listen to them and really give it our all as educators to provide the necessary tools that will help them achieve. And it is something that is just very crucial to make an impact on them. So thank you for taking the time for watching my video. And once again, just thank you for watching.